Number 5. Never Alone. This strange footage was captured by TikTok user Beware of Henry back in January. She was feeling pretty that morning, so she decided to record herself in the mirror, but something caught her attention out of the corner of her eye. When she looked over, her blood ran cold. Take a look.
What? What?
Surely if the window opening was just down to the wind or the plastic settling, it would be sliding down, not defying gravity, going up by itself. Normally, she'd just brush it off and get on with her day. But the problem is, this wasn't a one-off. Random stuff just keeps happening all over her house. But in the bathroom, it was the first time, or so she thought. Watch closely.
Bro. Did y'all see that shit? It's still... Bye.
Could she actually be experiencing the first steps toward a bigger haunting? The fact that stuff like this happens all the time keeps her family on edge. But what do you think is causing this strange activity? Have you ever experienced anything like this at yours? Please share your experience in the comment section.
What? What?
Number 4. The Guadalajara Underground. The following paranormal case started back in March when a group of explorers posted their experience attempting to infiltrate a secret entrance to the Guadalajara catacombs in Mexico. Their curiosity was piqued when they heard whispers of a local urban legend. Deep within the Los Colomos forest lay a secret entrance to the forgotten catacombs of Guadalajara. Their first excursion took them through the trees and out near a body of water with a tunnel system nearby. They believed the catacombs were located somewhere in there, so they began creeping inside, barely able to contain their excitement.
Que hasta empezamos a gritar, o tal vez fueron los nervios por la claustrofobia.
Nos pasa la verga.
Bueno, bien profundo el túnel. El agua no, el túnel también igual.
Vamos, Bocho. Das tú primero.
Arre. ¿Qué? ¿Tienes miedo, culo?
Sí.
Vámonos a la verga.
¿Sí va a ser aquí donde dicen mano?
But as they put one progressively soggier foot in front of the other, the whole group realized at once that something really wasn't quite right. The tunnel had no end in sight, and they were not the only ones creeping around.
En este punto ya estábamos pensando en mejor regresarnos, porque el camino se estaba poniendo muy difícil.
Es un montón, güey. ¿Sí se puede?
Mira la araña, güey. Aguas con la araña. Aguas con la araña, güey. Está a tu izquierda.
Vamos, Paco. ¿Para atrás o qué?
Yo creo que sí, güey, ya.
A ver si le quieren dar, güey. Por acá, güey.
Acá ya, güey.
Sí, güey, está muy profunda el agua ya, güey.
¿Muy
Te llega
profundo?
como acá.
A ver, hay que ver.
Aguas con la araña de ahí, güey. Ahí está.
Estaba muy profunda el agua.
Chile sí estaba profundo.
Ah, pásale, Bocho.
Son violinistas, güey.
Vamos, Bocho.
Sí, güey.
¿Son violinistas?
Sí.
¿Neta?
Sí.
En efecto eran de arañas violinistas.
¿Está muy hondo?
Sí.
Aquí los otros 4 que venían habían decidido regresarse
Porque está
y nos
cool ir
dejaron
adelante,
completamente
güey.
solos.
Sí, está chido, vete acá, baboso.
De repente se nos apagaron las luces y el celular dejó de grabar, entonces los murciélagos se empezaron a acercar y tuvimos que salir corriendo.
Yo quiero miar, güey, ámole. Para arriba, ¿no?
¿Escucharon esos gritos?
They were being knocked back by hordes of bats who had made their homes in the tunnels, as well as getting jumped by violent spiders. But as they all decided to try and overcome the creeping sense of dread and continue on, all of a sudden their lights went out and their cameras stopped recording. When this happened, even more bats began to swarm them, meaning they had no choice but to head back. But they were convinced that there was something worth finding in there, so they conducted a little research. Someone pointed them to a specific manhole cover as another secret entrance. But when they got there, the cover had been welded shut. They didn't give up hope, though, and managed to locate another manhole entrance at 3 a.m. And this one was a success.
Tercera parte de Explorando las Catacumbas de Guadalajara. Aquí vinimos a una ubicación que nos compartieron, pero no se podía entrar porque soldaron la alcantarilla. Así que fuimos a buscar otra de entrada, pero ya sin mucha de esperanza. Hasta que encontramos una entrada muy escondida.
Rápido que no. Es ahí. Vamos, uno.
Y ahí vamos nosotros a las 3 de la mañana.
As they approached the ever-growing darkness, they realized pretty quickly that something terrifying was watching them from the end of the tunnel. But the thing was, they still couldn't see all the way to the back. Knowing they were treading through dangerous territory, they made sure to make a mental note of all the different exits and paths they passed. And the further they pressed on, the less sense the whole place made.
Cuarta parte de Explorando las Catacumbas de Guadalajara. Cualquier sonido raro o sombra que veas en este video no es editada, es completamente real y te agradecería que lo pusieras en los comentarios. Apenas avanzamos había algo observándonos desde el fondo del túnel.
¿Por qué no se va, güey? A ver, voltealo a ver, güey. Para que veas a dónde se va. ¿No se movió?
Era muy mala idea caminar hacia lo que sea que nos estaba observando.
Se veían más grandes.
A lo largo del camino encontramos muchas salidas, como esta. Recuerden esto para el final del video. Al parecer de aquí venía lo que nos observaba. Había unas escaleras de aproximadamente 30 metros de altura que no dudamos en ver a dónde llegaban.
No, no.
Daba mucho vértigo.
There was something watching them from the opposite side of the tunnel. They had no clue what it was, but they just knew something had its eyes on them. As they continued exploring, they realized that the exit they wanted to use had been locked, so when they returned the way they had come, they decided to head back to the other exits they had already passed. But they were either gone or had been blocked up in the time they had been away. The paths they took ended up just looping them back around to where they started, with no end in sight. They managed to find a way out after their torches began to fail. But what on earth could have happened down there? Was there someone living in there and trying to confuse them? Or did they manage to stumble into an endless loop?
Había algo observándonos desde el fondo del túnel.
¿Por qué no se va, güey?
Number 3. The Morning from Hell. A man named Isaac had just started renting a new property in South Carolina, and in January, he began documenting his terrifying experience. Because the house he rents was previously occupied by a war veteran who was deathly afraid of a small shed in the back garden. He would report figures stalking him through the windows, the door creaking open by itself, and strange, violent noises emanating from inside. So Isaac decided to make some videos to try and prove whether or not his fear was justified. And oh boy, was it.
Now, it's about 5:30, 5:45 in the morning. I can't sleep. So I figured, why not, right? So on to the first question. What happened to the video? Y'all hear that, right? Like that. Y'all see that?
As far as we know, that door was locked, because he keeps it that way unless he has gone inside himself. So what the hell was able to knock, show itself in the window, and open the door from the inside? After posting that video, commenters wanted to see what was going on properly, so Isaac took his camera to set up in the shed, which is how he caught this video.
Okay, so we are walking into, God, these dolls are creepy. We're gonna walk in, well, not walk in, but we're in here now. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and set this up. You guys got a good view, right? Windows, everything. All right, I guess I'll catch y'all. I'm out.
He does admit that there is a cut in the video just after he leaves the shed, as the whole video was 15 minutes long and he had to condense it down. This does make sense, but realistically this does not prove that the cut isn't there so someone could sneak in and start causing chaos. So Isaac made another similar video, this time with a camera at a different angle, and apparently no cuts. The video itself is already creepy, but what about the audio? There is the sound of labored breathing and almost wheezing. Something in there is angry. After this video went viral, viewers asked for another video, but this time in the dead of night, because apparently it wasn't scary enough in the day. The weird violent activity and heavy ragged breathing continue in this video as well. Could there be someone hiding in the shed after the camera has been put up and they're making all the noise? Or is there genuinely something sinister going on there? Every single morning, this poor bloke walks out to his shed, and this is what he finds.
Downward to unlock, okay? This is what I come into every single day. You ask me why the shed? Look at this, dolls knocked over, turned around. Baseboards moved. Not baseboards, drywall moved, bed knocked over, powder all over the floor. This is what I come into every single day. You guys ask me why is the shed cleaned every single time I walk in here? It's because every single day I wake up, I have to come in and clean it because it's a mess. This is a regular occurrence.
Just absolute chaos. Stuff pushed over, things chucked completely across the room. It's basically become his new daily routine to go in there and put it all back together. So what is actually happening in there? I have absolutely no idea. But one thing's for sure, having to tidy up that absolute tip every single morning before you've even had a cuppa. Now that truly is terrifying. What do you reckon is going on here? Let us know down in the comments.
You guys see that?
Number 2. The Backyard Entity. TikTok user Kali Lau posted this petrifying footage that was caught on a Ring doorbell camera. A girl was coming back inside after playing with a friend when there was just enough ambient light left to see where you were going. But as she called out to her friend and went inside, it became apparent that she was being watched.
Because it's not fully dark yet.
Did you see it? A dark, hunched-over entity unfurled itself at the back of the garden and began to creep towards the entrance with careful, methodical steps, like a predator sussing out its prey. Only stopping to stare dead at the door the girl just went through. Some commenters thought this could have just been the friend she was with, but unless she's best mates with the Shadow Realm or something, that seems unlikely. Could this be some kind of cryptid lurking on the sidelines ready to strike? Or was this footage on an attempted abduction? Leave any of your theories in the comments below. Number 1. Living in her wardrobe. Monsters in the wardrobe will always have a place in our nightmares. But what happens when those nightmares come true? TikTok user Bundulogi Kermish had moved into her property around 3 years ago, and she knew something wasn't quite right when she started having vivid nightmares. After a while, she started noticing small things falling when they usually didn't, knocks and creaks throughout the house, and even a soft voice calling her name. She was able to brush it off until the 23rd of January, when she was recording a video to send to her friend, when she noticed something that made her blood run cold.
But yeah, it was super fun. Yeah, I'll see if you can come over in a bit. You should bring your dog. Your dog's really, really big and cute. Nope. Mom?
That looks so much like a creepy old man lurking behind the door and smiling through the crack. By the sounds of it, the original poster was trying to say anything to intimidate it and get rid. But that obviously didn't work, because a few days later, she posted this follow-up video.
Fuck no, bro.
Convinced it was a real person, commenters were terrified that she was in actual danger of an invasion. But after a few weeks, she made a video addressing the questions she had got, which is where we also learn that she lives in a rural area of the Appalachian Mountains. Through a few other videos on her page, you can piece together that she believes the entity to be a mimic, and that it is following her throughout life now. She has since left the house and is staying with her aunt, but perhaps this is where the true nature of the mimic will take form.
The idea of a random person in a creepy mask poking their head over the side of a rooftop is scarier.
There, in the top left corner of the door, a ghostly pale face is peeking in. Not a smudge, not a reflection, a face. The kid.
In the corner behind the guy in the hat, there's a weird black snake-like figure crawling up the wall.